Two, what up? What up? What up? There was no sound, but we back now.
What's going on, y'all?
You ain't hear our warm welcome.
Yeah. They had us muted. But greetings and salutations to everybody. This is a holiday almost. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, but you know, we don't take days off. We never take a day off, and the money doesn't sleep. So before we eat turkey, I don't eat turkey, but
You ain't
before
turkey?
no, I don't
Oh,
eat
you don't
turkey.
eat turkey. That's right.
But before, a lot of people eat turkey and do what they do for Thanksgiving. We got to get some information, some education.
That's a fact.
We dedicated to this thing, man.
Y'all missed that whole part. I said, yo, shout out to everybody that plays a role in Thanksgiving dinners. Myself and Rashad are part of the eating committee. Shout out to everybody that's on the cooking committee. We love y'all for all y'all do. If y'all do your job, we promise to do ours. That's a fact. So shout out to all the prep work that's going on right now. People getting the food ready. We will be on duty tomorrow. We will be on duty. That is a fact. Eating committee presidents.
Jessica, what's going on?
What's up? How are you?
Jessica Laine. Yeah. Remember the face, remember the name.
Yes. You made it back to earn your leisure. Congratulations. Second time around.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations on the success of your episode. It has been going crazy. People have been talking about it. So it only makes sense that the people get to talk to you, ask you some questions about this wonderful topic of Forex.
Yes. The Forex episode has done crazy. If you didn't watch that episode yet, make sure you check it out. It's episode EYL 157. So episode 157. And Jessica came on and she spoke about Forex in a way that, was not traditional. She, very adamant that we named the title to what we named it, as far as like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dispelling the myths of Forex. Is Forex a scam? Is Forex, real, or if it's not real? And as I said earlier today on Instagram, it's actually the biggest financial market in the world, bigger than the stock market, and over $6 trillion a day in volume. So Forex is not a scam. It's something that's been around for forever. Huge market, but unfortunately, a lot of people just have negative connotations. And one thing with Earn Your Leisure is that we always talk about, we're not like, biased on anything. We always talk about everything possible and related to finance and investing. So it would make no sense to have an investment platform and not talk about the biggest financial market in the world. That just wouldn't make any sense. So we provide the information, and then you do what you want with it. So all right, so we'll get this going. But before I start, I just want to make some announcements. So it is the holidays, so we got a few free events that definitely I want to encourage everybody to attend. So next week we will be in Art Basel. We're doing a 3-day activation takeover for Art Basel, and that's Earn Your Leisure and United Masters, sponsored by the good folks at Ally.
Yep.
And that is going to be everything from, we got music. Shout out to Just Blaze. Shout out to Manny Fresh. They're going to be in the building. DJ Irie's going to be in the building. We got panel discussions. We're talking about cryptos, NFTs. Of course, Ian Dunlap will be in the building. A few other surprises. And so we're going to talk about business. We're going to have some fun, fashion, music, culture, food, all day event from 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week. And that's in Miami at Art Basel.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna give them the exact location so we can't get it confused. So we'll be at Freehold. It's in Wynwood. So if you've been to Miami, if you're familiar with Miami, it's on the other side of the bridge. Not South Beach. It's in the fashion district. And it is an incredible place. Wynwood is just a beautiful place to visit, especially for art. So we're going to be at Freehold in Wynwood, Miami, again from December 2nd to the 4th. And you want to tell them where they can RSVP?
Yeah, go to earnyourleisure.com and just hit the tab for Art Basel and RSVP. And once again, it's free, but it's extremely limited. Extremely limited. Yeah. So
Jess, you been to Art Basel before?
I have.
It's a good time to come again.
Yeah. So
I'm coming this weekend too.
There you have it.
Say less.
So yes. So we doing that, and then we having a free real estate event.
Yep.
Expo.
Yeah, area.
And Oakland, California, and that's on December 11th. So go to earnyourleisure.com for that. click the event tab and RSVP for that. That's going to be a vibe. Also, that's in Oakland. Shout out to MG the Mortgage Guy. Shout out to Chase for sponsoring that. And that's going to be an all-day real estate expo in Oakland, California. So make sure you hit that out. So, all right, let's get into this. We are going to talk about Forex trading. We are going to talk about some myths. We're going to dispel some rumors, but more importantly, we're going to actually talk about how to actually make money in Forex trading. But before I start, I want to let people know what this is. So EYL University, every month we do what's called the open enrollment. And that is, when we have classes at EYL University every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the last Wednesday of the month, we open it up to the public and we put it on YouTube. So this is an opportunity for everybody just to see what EYL University is about. So EYL University, we have over 203 past webinars. We do weekly webinars. We have monthly financial planning calls. We have weekly, bi-weekly real estate calls. We have a book club. We have an investment group chat where we talk about investing, the plays that we're getting into, all that kind of stuff. We have obviously access to Market Mondays, Zoom, and then we have 16 Infinity Clubs. Mm-hmm. So we have clubs inside of EYL University. So that is, business club, cannabis club, financial wellness. We have a real estate club. We have a stock market investing club. We have a crypto club. All of that.
Mature earners,
earners. Yeah. So yeah, we do this every single month, and EYL University, over 10,000 members in there, earners in there, and it's growing at a rapid pace. So what we're doing today is giving you a look into EYL University. And since it is, holiday time, we are doing a Black Friday sale. So this sale that we're doing is 70% off, which is the lowest price that it has ever been. And it will never be that price ever again. So everybody always asking if we're going to do a Black Friday sale. Black Friday sale, yes, we are doing it today for 48 hours. And it is 70% off. You can go to EYLUniversity.com and sign up. So, Jess, let's get into this. Forex. Let me start right now. Why does Forex have such a negative connotation?
Well, there's three reasons. Number one is, really the typical how it's marketed, period, point blank. You have very, very keen regulations in which you have people doing bots. Even if we go to the post that you posted this morning or earlier today, under that post is so many comments from literally bots that's like, hey, Laura made $20 million last week using my strategy, or such and such trade with Marina, all these different things. And so, of course, people on social media are like, yo, what is this? This is completely a scam. So bots, number one. Number two, when it comes to network marketing companies, you have so many different people like, hey, sign up, join my company, join this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they aren't actually making money from the skill set. They're making money from recruiting people. What this does is entice people to say, hey, look at my lifestyle. I got this Benz, I got this Rolls Royce, I got all of this stuff doing this. But no, you didn't actually get it from trading. What you got it from was your residuals from whatever company it is that you're in, right? And then the third reason really is just because people are uneducated. People are uneducated, and anything that you are not educated in, you can't say just because you didn't have the wherewithal to learn something that it doesn't work. Warren Buffett, let's take it to stocks. Warren Buffett literally has a quote that says risk just comes from not knowing what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, then you're not going to make money, period.
Perfect. Yeah. So, there's a negative connotation, like you said. So those are the myths. So the other question is, how do we know when we're being scammed? Because like you said, the lack of knowledge can make us feel embarrassed at a certain point, right? Like we could be losing money, could be getting scammed. We don't want to admit it. How do we know when we're in a position that somebody's taking advantage of us, that we are actually being scammed?
Well, first off, I think that people need to get educated, but not in a sense of, hey, invest my money with somebody to make money. Number one, as an investor, you should be an independent investor. You should not be taking trade signals. You should not literally put your money somewhere. Like so many people get scammed through all of these different resources on Instagram or on different whether it be Facebook, all of these different social media platforms, because you have people saying, hey, send me this money and then I will flip this account for you, whatever the case may be. If you don't have enough money to put into a hedge fund, you should not be having other people invest your money for you. You need to be educated, right? So how is it that you go about that? You find people, like there are people who teach for free. For instance, right? Every single Sunday is my give back day to the world. I teach free where anybody can hop on there and see these trades play out back to back to back to back to back. So 9 times out of 10, if you see somebody and you see their trades playing out back to back to back, then 9 times out of 10, you know that they know what they're doing. Find somebody that you have tangible results and also have a track record. And there are multiple educators. I have a friend, his name is Courtney. He goes all across the world, literally educating people for free. Because the thing is, when you are an investor and you make money from the market, like you don't care about helping other people, because we understand that God is our source and not other human beings.
Just can't bring the word today.
There you have it.
Just can't bring the word today, y'all.
It's not even a word, it's just facts. Like it's true. Like
so
I don't
go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
I don't really care about giving people free knowledge, because I understand that what comes to me is literally going to be multiplied. Just like y'all do Market Mondays, y'all helping people, literally educating people every single week with free knowledge. Whether they apply it or not is up to them.
This is true.
That's true.
Has that always been your strategy? Just give, and whatever comes back isn't going to be your decision anyway?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, but that's like that's the thing. It's just like when God uses you, he just uses you. So yeah, like I've been teaching free on Sundays, I would say for about 2.5 years now, and it just grew. And that's the thing. And that's literally like when I first started teaching, I didn't want to teach like as regular people. But when I saw like so many people really needed to learn this skill set and they needed to learn it the right way, that's how you learn. And then when you hop on every single week and you just see, like, even with what you guys do at Ian, back to back to back, it's no way if I see something playing out back to back to back that I'm not about to partake in it.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
You got a point.
So I want to get to some information, but before that, how is stocks and Forex correlated? Because obviously, you know, we have Market Mondays, so we talk about stocks all the time. But you know, how in your opinion, how is stocks and Forex correlated?
Well, first off, stocks, like you guys use technical analysis as well as fundamentals, correct?
Yep.
In order to basically decide whether you see a company good or not, right? We look at technicals as well as fundamentals to decide whether a country is good or not in terms of investment. So this is the thing. When you guys look at stocks, you're looking at corporate earnings, you're looking at debt ratios, you're literally looking at all these different things to decide whether or not you want to participate or buy that share in a stock. We look at fundamentals, but we look at fundamentals from the perspective of GDP, gross domestic product, non-farm payroll, employment numbers, all of these different things that are telling us whether or not a currency is going to be good or bad based off of what's happening in the actual economy. So it is so crazy to me when people say like Forex isn't real or Forex is fake or Forex is a scam, because no matter what you invest in, you have to go through currency in order to do it. You can't go from bonds to stocks, and you can't go from literally treasuries to now investing in gold, right? You have to literally put your money in cash, then invest in the next asset class of what it is that you're trying to partake in. And anytime you put your money in currency, that is the US dollar. That US dollar is the foreign exchange market. It is the DXY. If you want to know the ticker symbol, is literally the dollar index.
Mm. So Jess, like you said, we got to know the international markets. Is there a place or a source that you use to consistently get the reports from the international markets? Like, for instance, Germany has been in the news, right? Because it's Europe's #1 economy. They've been having like a decline in the past 5 months due to COVID and supply chains. I found that in Wall Street Journal, but is there a place that you go to find information?
I'll use Bloomberg for everything, to be honest, but people that trade Forex, you have economic indicators. You can look at any economic calendar to give you the actual dates of the economic indicators. in Forex, you have economic indicators, which is like the actual things that happen every single month that you just know is about to happen. So non-farm payroll happens every single first Friday of every month. Okay, if I know this, I know to look for these numbers, to look to see whether we have new jobs in the market, right? But when it comes to like things that are happening that like let's say for instance on Monday when they decided to literally have Powell again, right? All of these things, like when it comes to the feds, you just have to pay attention.
Yeah. So those 9-0. So Jerome Powell was nominated again to be the Fed chairman. So I'm just catching people up to speed with that. Okay, got you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so let's get into some teaching. You want me to start ask you questions, or you want to just go into it on your own?
I can go into it.
Okay.
I can go into it. So
I got my iPad ready. Let's do it.
We ready.
So first, let's do this, okay? Because I know y'all wanted me to place a trade live, but this is what we gonna do, okay? Because I'm gonna show y'all this first. Well, because y'all know everybody got something to say about Forex traders, so I have to do this just for like proof purposes. But this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys 3 trades that I'm in right now that are live trades and running, and I'm gonna go over my entries while I got into them and like what's actually current happening, and then I'm gonna show like the technicals as well as like the fundamentals as to why I got in this. Okay, but
Perfect.
First things first, because y'all know how people are. So this is, I don't want to show my account number, but this is a live account. So if you see here, can y'all see that? You see where it says live?
I can't see that. Yeah, I see it.
All right. So it says live. All right. Now, y'all don't need to know my government last name, so I got to cover that part up. But all right. So now look at this. I'm not going to show my account balance, but this is what I want you to do. All right. Write down these 3 numbers. And then when I pull up the trading view chart, I want you to tell me what they are. So these are the 3 numbers. So that first number right under where it says gold, you see it? Is
Jesse, just read it out to us. Read it out to us so we can write it.
1826.60, 1862.33, and 1871.50.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So on these trades, I'm up $14,000 on these 3. Now, I'm about to show this trading view chart. Give me 1 second. And I'm about to pull up this. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so give me the numbers. I'm about to put the exact entry point on each one. Give me the numbers. Your microphone on mute.
I'm muted. I know the first one was 182.33, I believe.
No.
I was writing fast, Jess. I was writing fast as I could.
1826.60. 1826.60.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, so that's 1. I'm gonna put this in bold so we know the entry points.
And this is trading view right here that we're using?
Yeah, this is trading view.
Okay.
All right, what's the other one?
I know it's 188, Jess. You got to read the rest.
Okay, I'm sorry. 1862.33. And then the third one is 1871.50. All right, so these are the 3 entry points that I took on this gold sale. All right, so we have right here at the very top, we have here, and then we have here. All right, so I'm about to go over each one. So everybody see the entry points. Now I'm about to delete these for a second because I want to go over them in depth without those lines. So in regards to trading, right, just like we use risk management for Forex, you guys use risk management in stocks. So you're basically looking at different economic or technical like we use Fibonacci. Y'all use Fibonacci too, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we use different tools on TradingView to determine where price is going, depending on what necessarily strategies that people use. Like I use Fibonacci for everything. Some people use Ichimoku cloud. Some people use literally Elliott wave, all these different things. I use Fibonacci. So if y'all saw these three entries right here, right here, right here, right? So negative 61.8 is always the price in which I know, okay, in the market, that's where I'm looking for a reversal, right? So I had two entries here last week. Okay. First off, when I told you guys that I mark up live, let's go here first. So I sent this out on, where's gold? Somewhere in here. Okay, right here. So I sent this out on November 15th and literally told everybody, this is the sell. This trend line, gold will need to break before you can sell right there, right? So at that point, this is the trend line where price broke and retested. Anytime you're looking to trade, you always need a break and retest. That is what's confirming your entry, right? So at that.
So wait, really quick.
So Jess, let's slow it down for a second because I want to talk to everybody. Like, let's assume that nobody here knows anything about Forex. I know that you're an expert, and I know sometimes it's like, you kind of already go off of like, people have some level of experience, but let's assume that nobody has any experience in Forex at all. So what we're looking at right now is a chart, right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking at the candlesticks. So you're looking at a buy point for the chart, right?
No,
sell point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes. So you're looking at your entry. Okay. So I'm sorry. Let me go all the way back. All right.
Yeah.
So right now, this is gold versus the US dollar. Okay. So gold is the base. US dollar is the quote. If I sell it, I'm basically saying that gold is getting ready to be weak. The US dollar is getting ready to be strong. How I knew that was about to happen, both I have fundamentals as well as technicals. Technically, okay, just from markups, I have Fibonacci drawn on this chart. When I use my Fibonacci levels, I know that negative 61.8 is always a reversal in the market. So if price is going up, once it hits this negative 61.8, I know I'm looking for the market to drop.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So at this point, that was that first entry after I had the confirmation that price broke and retested this trend line that is here. All right. Now, I had two entries here last week. One of them was at a 1.50. In regards to trading, that's a lot size. A 1.50 is $15 a pip. Okay. $15 a pip. And then the market dropped for 269 pips or 265 pips. That was $4,000 on that trade because you're basically multiplying 265 times 15. Okay. Now, at the point in which price came here, something that my students know and something that's just very important to note anytime you're investing, anytime you're trading is where you are in the market. Right here, this is near a monthly level, monthly and a weekly level, which means consolidation. So if I know that I'm in an area that's expected consolidation, the reason I had two entries up here was because one, I know that price can potentially push back up, which it did. Okay. So
Jess, in a sense, you're almost looking at support and resistance.
That's
right?
exactly what it is.
That's what we're looking at here. So it's the support and resistance because I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing support and resistance levels. You're seeing the entry points. Somebody in the chat was asking what's a pip. I know we talked about it on the episode, but could you talk, because you said that it fell 260 pips. Can you just tell them what a pip is?
Yeah, so a pip is a unit of measurement. So it's how far the market is going. So if I think I said this on the episode also, like if Troy and Rashad goes to run outside and they say, hey, like I say, hey, Troy, how far did you run? And he said 3 miles. He just told me how far he ran. So in the market, if I'm going in a sell right here, and this literally drops for 260 pips, whatever it is that you place your position on, that's how much money you get. So right here, when I said that I placed $15 a pip, $15 times that 660 or 600 something pips, that was that $4,000 profit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, right here, I had 2 entries because this area is consolidation. Consolidation just means that price is ranging. It's not going up or down. Anytime you're near a monthly or a weekly level, there's always consolidation. Look at it as just understanding always where you are in the market. If somebody put us all in the middle of South Dakota, we're not going to know where we're going. So in the first rule in the market, you need to always understand where you are. If you understand where you are, then you know where you're going in proximity to everything else. So for instance, what I mean by that is that first trade that you guys saw, one of them had a 0.50 lot size on it. So I had 2 entries here. One of them was 1.50, the other was 0.50, because I knew that the market was going to push back up once it came to this level of support. Basically, again, consolidation means that price is going to range. So the reason that you have 2 entries is because that first entry, you're going to pull once it reaches that level of support. Because you don't want to give, if I just went 274 pips in profit, remember, well, really it was 260 from that entry. So the entry was like right there. All right, so that 260 pips from that profit, when the market pulls back, you don't want to give the market back 200 of the 260 pips that you just gave. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So
I'm with you.
If I just went in profit $4,000, I'm not about to give $3,000 back to the market. So what I have is 2 entries so that when price hits this level of support, I'm gonna pull that first entry. And then the smaller position, I'm gonna let ride because I understand the overall move as well. Does that make sense?
All right. So yeah, so you're taking profit right there.
So I have 2, yes. So I had, remember, it was 3 entries total.
Yep.
That first entry was at the very top. The second entry was here at this trend line. Now, why is it at a trend line? So I don't know if y'all use trend lines, but a trend line is literally where price, it tells you the now trend that's about to happen. So based off of structure, you have minor structure and you have major structure. Minor structure is the right now money. Major structure is the overall move. Okay. So that right now money, that don't mean I'm just about to leave money on the table. I'm going to take advantage of that, which is that 1.50 position. And I'm going to hold this 0.50 position so that now I can literally carry that smaller move long term. Once I see price make a now lower high point, right, which means that it didn't make a higher high. A higher high means that that is still uptrending. A lower high means that I now have a new low point right here. So now that I have that point, I'm still not going to enter right there because I want to make sure that this high is not about to surpass this previous high. Because remember, if price surpasses that previous high, it's not downtrending. Once I have this validated as this next lower high point, what I'm going to do now is draw a trend line at the top of this. 2 points validate a trend line. Third is extra confirmation. So that second entry for that standard was here, right when price tested here.
So those are like the mountaintops, right? So if I'm looking at right that little, where it's like almost the triangles that meet at the top of a chart, we're looking for, again, the resistance levels at the top, and we see 2, and you said 3 is for confirmation.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, I got a really quick question because I'm seeing the strategy here. When you enter these positions, are you making 3 entries every time? Is that a strategy that you use, or is that common?
No. It just depends on what's happening in the market. So remember last week. So if you look at so if you look at the telegram that I showed you, this first entry was placed on the 15th. And that's something that I just want to make a note of, because people think that like Forex is gambling and you just hopping in and out of positions. Like that's when people don't know what they're doing, or they're scalpers. Right. And that scalping is literally, if you decide to be a scalper, there are 3 types of traders. You have scalpers, intraday traders, and swing traders. OK, scalpers hold their positions for literally minutes up to an hour. Well, I mean, some people hold it 15 to 20 minutes. That's them. right? Then you have intraday where you want to take advantage of that position inside of that day. Some intraday trades can go out, I would say 3-4 days, just depending on where you are in the market. And then you literally have swing traders that hold a position up to a month. Then you have position traders that can hold a position way longer. This first entry I was in since last, or the 15th, I think that was last Thursday, somewhere in there. It was, yeah, I think the 15th was Thursday. But this first position was literally on the 15th. 15th. Okay. Now,
Yep.
that's not the strategy in regards to entering 3 times, but just understanding where my reversal levels are and understanding structure. The structure of the market. Okay. So remember, if I'm at this negative 61.8, I know I want price to reverse. That's first. That's one of the main things in regards to how I trade based off of Fibonacci. Anytime price hits that negative 61.8, I know that whatever direction it was in is now about to go the opposite way if it's major structure. Okay. So
Gotcha.
you see price hit this negative 61.8 right here, then it fell to this level of support. I had 2 entries. Then the second entry was here once I had that confirmation of that third trend line bounce. Then Monday, I entered another entry right here, right? Somewhere in there, because I had a lot of bearish momentum. So I knew, like, once I had structures being broken, and then over here, if you look left, you have literally like this, all of this like minor consolidation, but that previous level and where I knew I need price to go. And I'm not trying to confuse people with these charts. So it might look like a lot on my charts, but do not be intimidated by it. Like, whatever you start out doing just in life, please understand that like everything is hard at first until you learn it. And then once you learn it, it's a piece of cake. Okay. So anybody that's looking at this, like, what is she talking about? Like, you just have to learn the language, and then everything I'm saying is about to make perfect sense. Okay. All right, for y'all too though, y'all good? Like,
yeah, we're good. We're good.
I know y'all good, but I'm just trying to make sure, like, I don't need to break it down for anybody, because I know y'all's audience.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you're talking about the support and resistance lines, when I'm looking at charts, I kind of put like the Bollinger Bands up, and I know if it retraces outside of Bollinger Bands, a lot of times it's a day or two before it comes back in for on the negative side for appreciation, and for the positive side for appreciation, and the negative side for depreciation. And so when you're talking about that, it's again very similar to what we do when we trade equities in the stock market.
Right, got you. So I mean, really, those are those 3 trades. Now, here's the thing that I want y'all to understand, right? Let's just look at this. This is from a technical perspective, okay? But now, if we look at this literally from a fundamental perspective, I had talked to all of my students on Sunday, and I thank God all this stuff is always live, but I talked to my students on Sunday, and I was talking about how yields right now are getting higher. Okay, so if we understand things from a strictly fundamental perspective, and I'm gonna actually put this out because I talked about it on Sunday, and then I sent them this on Monday, because then this was released on Monday. Here, Treasury yields rise after Biden picks Powell. Okay, like everything with our technicals always line up with our fundamentals. Period, point blank. Forex is not this esoteric thing that people just grab from the sky and it's like, oh, you know, these are a whole bunch of gamblers. Like, no, like, we are making educated decisions based off of literally what's happening in the economy. And you have your technicals that's telling you what's about to happen. So last week, I didn't know that information was going to come out on Monday. Last week, I had my technicals to literally align to tell me what was happening in the market. And then once the fundamentals drop, remember, like I told you on the episode, and you said that's when Ian says load the boat. Once you know without a shadow of a doubt what's happening, and then you have the fundamentals to align with it, that's what gives people the confidence to now stay in their positions, but also execute with larger positions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're actually using the technicals, and then the fundamental and the news actually just give you an extra confirmation.
Absolutely.
Got you.
So talk about the pairs real quick, because this is the US dollar versus gold, right?
Yeah. So gold
So
is actually a commodity, but we trade it in Forex. But the US dollar, because okay, so let's talk about this like just from a base level, right? Once there is certainty with the Feds, okay, meaning Powell being picked. So now we have certainty regarding from literally from a Fed perspective. Okay. Once there's certainty, people take money out of bonds. So let's look at it as safe havens in the market. Gold is a safe haven. Risk on, risk off profiles. If people are scared, they're going to invest money into gold. They're going to invest money into bonds. Once there is certainty, people take money out of bonds. If bonds literally are, if people are taking money out of bonds, yields are now going up because they have an inverse relationship.
Okay. Yep.
That makes sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So with that, again, once there's certainty, people take money out of gold. But not only that, the DXY, the dollar is literally rising. Why? Literally, they're tapering right now. Like everything is correlated.
Okay.
Why you say okay like that? Like, okay.
No, okay.
We got you.
All right. So these are these positions, but in regards to currency, you have multiple different currencies. You have gold, you have US dollar as a commodity. Then you have like Great British Pound. So people trade GBPs. If you want to trade London session, then you would do it in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. our time. Okay, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we trade GBP pairs. And then, so look, so these are GBPs. And again, do not be confused by the charts, but is literally currency, right? So when you have two currencies going against one another, so let's scroll over here. Great British Pound is the base, US dollar is the quote. Okay, so if I say the US dollar is getting, let's say, stronger, then I'm basically saying GBP USD is going down.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
If the US dollar is weaker than the Great British Pound, then GBP USD will be going up.
What about the euro right now, Jess? Because there's been a lot of talk about how the euro has weakened. When we see something like that, is there a trading pair when we hear that a currency is actually weakened that we should like, all right, let's find a trading pair to actually make money on it? Like, how will we make money in that when we hear that a currency is weakened?
I'll actually show you the chart. This is literally Euro USD right now. So if you see, it's just been on this downside.
Right.
Blue is like actual trades that we're taking on this, but I primarily trade gold, GJ, and GU. I trade EU sometimes, but this is literally the currency. So you see the euro against the US dollar literally going selling. Same thing with Euro JPY. All of these are basically marked up, but again, just like you said, it's your previous levels of support and resistance. You see here, this was tested. I use zones for everything. I don't just use lines because lines can't always like, it's not just one particular line. I always use like just areas of structure, but that's the euro versus Japanese yen. This is the euro versus US dollars. But this is the thing, like anytime, just like you guys, like you don't invest in a whole bunch of different companies, like you literally tell people to only focus on a few because it's a lot to really research. When you are a Forex trader, I strongly encourage people to study whatever economies it is that they want to partake in fully. All right. Of course, you can definitely make money by not understanding fundamentals and being a technical analyst only. I have some friends, one of my friends, his name is Philip. He's actually one of my best friends. He is a 100% great technical analyst. Like literally his win ratio is over 90%, back to back straight wins. But then I have another friend, Courtney, who is a fundamental analyst majority, right? I believe in technicals and fundamentals because a lot of people that do technicals only, sometimes they still have that feeling of uncertainty where they're like, okay, I don't know how long I really want to hold this trade or whatever case may be. But once you have those fundamentals as to why what is happening, like the technicals always foretell the future. You don't necessarily know what's about to happen, but when you come to a level of resistance, you know something about to make this this structure now turn the opposite way unless structure is now broken.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I'm looking at this chart, this Euro chart, obviously this downtrend, when we talk about trading, and especially in options trading, there's money to be made, right? Whether the market goes up or down, if we make a call or a put. I'm interested in here when I'm looking at this downtrend. How do we make money? Is there a certain level of pips that we put in to try to make money off of this downtrend? What do we do?
No, it's not a certain level of pips. You just place the position. So where I showed you guys on, I'm gonna go back to gold because those are actually live positions that you can see, but it's no different than this, right? So this was an actual Euro USD trade that I took, and I took it from here to this level just because this was an actual fib level. And at this point, if price right here, you see how it pulled back a little bit, but it kept dropping just because if I go to the DXY, you'll see it continue and go up, go up, go up. But at this level right here, all you do is just press sell. That's it. On our positions, just like y'all press calls and y'all positions are timed or whatever the case may be when it comes to options, with us, when we place our positions in Forex, all we do is leverage it based off of whatever your account balance is. Right? So that little 14,000, like I made money on GBP USD this week, as well as GBP JPY this week. When I place that position, all I do based on your account balance and making sure, of course, like if I'm in multiple trades, I'm going to leverage my position adequately to my account, whatever your account balance is. So when it comes to pips, if you see price move from here to here, I'm gonna use a base number. So let's just say from here to, let's just do 100 because 100 is easy for everybody to understand. So let's say this exact trade right here. This just went down 100 pips. So literally you would go into your MetaTrader 4 and place, or MetaTrader 5, whichever one people have, you would literally place a sell, Euro USD, sell. Mm-hmm. Whatever your account balance is, you will leverage that position based off of that. So let's say I did $5 a pip. Let's say you did $3 a pip. We just gonna use small numbers right now. I now have $500 on this trade. You now have $300 on this trade.
Got you. Okay.
Right.
Got you. Yep.
And it's literally just like what you just said in regards to support and resistance. Like, again, when you understand where you are in the market, if I know I'm in a level of consolidation, I'm not about to give back the market all of the money that I just made. So this position where I made this $4,000 on, if I stayed in that position and did not pull it at that level of support, now I'm literally about to give back $3,000 that I just made in the market.
Yes. Got you. And if you move down further in your chart, I guess, what's that, to the 22nd, we have a huge drop right here, right?
Yes, this happened literally Monday, and this is literally to right now. So that's why I said these are literally live active positions. Like you can even see, I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the numbers moving at the top, right? Oh, I'm not supposed to show that, but you see this?
Well, don't show us the account number.
I'm not, but do you see the numbers moving?
Yeah.
That's price moving right now.
So, I mean, a lot of people ask this question, especially to us, are like, you know what, when is a good time to exit a position? We always tell people, look, you should know the exit plan before you even enter the position. What's your timetable? What's your strategy for that?
I agree. So like this, I'm gonna go back to this one because it's a live trade. So when I said that literally last week, when I took profit right here, is because I was going to that level of support. So I knew what we call stop loss and take profit. My take profit was literally right there. I said it. So I don't even have to, like, I remember Rashard asked me when I did the interview last time, like, okay, do you have to sit in front of a computer all day? Once you know what you're doing, all you do is set your alerts. So for instance, even to enter this position, all you do is go right here, press add alert on trend line. I do once per minute because I'm super busy. So I have to let it blow up my phone for me to pay attention to it. But at that point, it's going to set an alert on that trend line. Once that trend line is broken, you're now alerted, but you're not staring at your charts until it breaks. You see what I'm saying? So I always trade. And one of my students, his name's Omar, he said this so beautifully. Like, you don't just trade because the market is open. You trade the market once the market is ready for you. Once it's in an area where you know what you need to happen is about to happen, that's when you execute your position.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like there's some money that could have been made right there. A lot of money right there.
Right. Now, in regards to what you said about like, okay, your exits or knowing when you want to exit or knowing your exit before you get in, that depends on if you're trading minor structure or major structure. Regardless, you should always know where you're getting out. But again, because I knew this was about to drop for a while, it had literally been going up for a while, right? And again, my negative 61.8 is literally where I'm looking for my reversals, right? And that I know that through my back testing. Even if I go left on this chart, back to back to back to back to back, every time price hit my negative 61.8 based off of how I trade. Now, there are times in which that can be broken. Once that's broken and price is not moving the way in which I want it to move, a prime example is this same exact trade. I had gave an update last week and I told people like, right here, what I personally don't like is that price was sitting between TP1 and TP2 and not specifically at either of the levels. So
TP1 being take profit level.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you what I mean in a second, but
okay.
TP1 and TP2 and not specifically at either of these levels. So I told people, with that being said, if that resistance level breaks, it has the potential to push to that negative 61.8, even though the bias is a sell, and to trade what you see, not what you think. That's literally my motto. Don't trade it just because you think this is what's about to happen. Wait until you have confirmation for it to happen first. Then wait for that trend line break and retest first. So now if we go to the chart, TP1 is always negative 27 for how I trade. All right. TP2 is always negative 61.8. So if I go back to this screenshot that I sent out, you see how at this point, price was sitting in between negative 27 and negative 61.8. Once you know your pairs and your currency, and once you like really just like anything, once you become super familiar with it, you just know how price moves. It was not moving like I needed it to move. So I knew at that point, okay, this got the potential to push this to this negative 61.8. And that's exactly what it did. So once it pushed to that negative 61.8, okay, now we ready for the job. Not only that, now we have the confirmation of this trend line break and retest. And then we also have divergence. Divergence is where two things are doing the opposite. So if I have literally price going up and my RSI going down, I now know that that is two things that is doing the opposite. And that's another confluence that I use when I'm trading to tell me, okay, it's an anomaly. Like
when you're trading, especially in these pairs, how often do you use the RSI? So for those not to know, the relative strength index usually tells in stocks, it tells you whether something is being overbought or oversold.
Yeah.
How are you using that to your advantage here? Right? Is there a number that you know? Is it like 50 is being oversold? Like what's the numbers?
No, I just use it for divergence. So again, divergence is two things doing the opposite. So literally, if I have this price going up and then I have this divergence going down right here, then I know this is literally going to reverse. It's coming. I'll go through and just show you different examples. It's same thing right here. This was at a negative 61.8 on my Fibonacci level. This divergence, this price is going up. This RSI is going down, is doing the opposite. So I know that a reversal is coming.
Okay.
So that's what I use RSI for. My best friend, he has this thing called Cake where he literally uses it the exact same way, just a little bit different. But when I have two things doing the opposite, that's how I know what's going to happen. And again, especially if it's at my negative 61.8, like that is, you see price, this is the fib level, this hits here. This is another trend line bounce here. Like this, I just knew it was going to drop.
Yeah, and what about this? Like you said, $5 per pip or $3 per pip. Is that just determine like your risk management, like how much you're comfortable putting per pip? Is that just subjective to the person that's trading?
Yeah, it is, but also it is whatever. I mean, it just, everybody has different goals in trading, right? My goals can be different from somebody else's. I personally believe in proper risk management, and I don't think that anybody's account should be in more than 10% drawdown at any given time. 10-20% max. So if I have $100,000 account, I don't want my account to be more than $10,000 drawdown, right? Now, if I'm going to compound my account, literally I'm looking at 20% a week for growth. So if I'm looking at that, then now I understand, like, okay, I'm going to leverage my positions accordingly. That's how everybody should have a weekly goal in trading, because trading is compounding. It's not trying to flip your account overnight. There are some people that believe in flipping their accounts overnight, doubling, tripling their accounts. And Forex is 100% possible, but they're not leveraging positions properly. So when it comes to, like, when you say $5 a pip, $10 a pip, it just depends on what your account balance is. And that will help you leverage what you need to leverage.
And what are your favorite trading pairs again? I know on the episode you had mentioned the US dollar versus the yen, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
Is that still?
No, GBP versus the yen. Great British Pound versus...
Yes. Great British Pound versus the yen. Is that still your favorite trading pair?
Yeah, no, well, it's 3, but yeah. So I trade GJ often, GU often, gold often. So this is my last GJ trade. It was this buy right here. This was my last one. I pulled it right here just because I had gotten to this level of resistance. Then it ended up hitting TP1, which is the -27 that I told you guys about right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We'll go to questions real quick, because there's some people in here. I know, like right now, obviously you can see on the right hand of your side of your screen that the prices are still moving. As far as trading, and obviously the pairs that you use, what are the time frames during the day? Because I know some people like to get up at 6 a.m. to trade to catch the London. What time frame do you use? What time frame is probably the best, obviously, to make the most income off of your trade?
So it depends on what they're trading. I trade Great British Pound versus Japanese yen, Great British Pound versus US dollars. So Sunday morning, I was up to catch this buy right here on this GJ trade. So that's literally, I had a break and a retest, and then price literally played out. You want to be up during London session if you trade London pairs. But for instance, gold. I don't trade gold in the middle of the night. I trade gold literally when the US economy is open. So 8 a.m. is where you trade gold, like let's say Dow Jones, for instance. So let's use Dow Jones because you guys do stocks. So this was a trade that I took on US 30. This is Dow Jones right here. Again, price hit my -61.8, then dropped. I pulled it once it reached this level of support right here. That was previous resistance. So we have resistance, support all through here. That level of support lined up with my -61.8 on minor structure. I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see that. It lined up with my -61.8 on minor structure, and then that was just a pullback. I never got it back in it after that because I was in other trades, but it's the same thing. So if I trade the US 30, I'm trading that during New York session.
Okay. All right, I got that. How long did it take you to really master the charts, technical analysis? Because I know that scares a lot of people looking at charts and stuff like that. How long did it take you to actually, get a good grip on the charts?
So it took me literally 2017. I started learning how to trade the end of 2017. I wasn't consistently profitable until April 2019, but I had to self-teach myself a lot of stuff. Now, I definitely have friends that, you know what I'm saying, we exchanged, stuff here and there, but remember y'all, how y'all was clowning me about in the prayer closet and me being in my prayer closet and me praying.
We weren't clowning you. We were just concerned. No, we were concerned. There's a difference. Don't do that.
Well, when I say like I fasted, I literally locked myself in a room and like was just on these charts every day. But it just because it took me that long doesn't mean it's gonna take other people that long. I will say you can learn literally everything you need to learn. I have a student who somewhat started from scratch. He was trading 6 months before me. His name's Aaron. I just did a call with him. He made $20,000 last week. It took him 3 months to go through the course, 12 weeks. It took him 3 months to go through the course. He made $20,000 last week. When he first graduated, he flipped a $3,000 account to over $30,000. So it's not necessarily like how much time, it's how much effort and how much discipline a person has and how much they're going to put into it.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So somebody was asking, and what do you set in your Fibonacci lines up so you could have that 61 point, what is it, 48?
Negative 61.8.
Yeah.
You just type it in there.
So you just type that in, and then for your retracement lines?
Yeah. You type it into your they trying to get my secret sauce on.
You know they coming for it. You know we coming for it.
Listen, but yeah, you just type it on there, but it always lines up. You know what I'm saying? Like always.
All right, so let's go to questions. We're gonna get some questions from Zoom. But yeah, once again, if you didn't watch the episode yet, watch the episode that Jessica has with us, and that was definitely a great precursor to this episode 157. And if you watch that episode, you know that Jessica, she has a course where she actually teaches. It's kind of hard to learn all of this information on the fly. So, obviously, it's something that if you never heard it before, it's going to sound like foreign language, but the more you get into it and the more you learn about, charts, Fibonacci and different terms, then you become more familiar with it. It's the same thing with stocks, same thing with crypto, no different. So, on the episode, she spoke about her course that she has, where she actually teaches people and, it's part of a community where they go over charts and they go over like weekly calls and stuff like that. So at that time we had a special discount for her course. It was $500 off. So for Black Friday, she gave us a special discount, even bigger than that. It's $1,000 off for 48 hours from her course. I'll put the link in there, but it's justinvesteyl.com. But I'm gonna pin the link, and it's also in the description of this video. So yeah, if anybody's interested in furthering their education in the Forex, you can definitely check that out. But let's get some questions if we can.
Let's go to D. D, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hi, Jessica.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. I've literally been on an EYL call every day for the past 30 days. So I wanted the story about your student really intrigued me. For those of us that have somewhat, or at least a foundation of finance background, how realistic is it really for us to be able to flip 5 or 10 G's? I know you said he studied for 3 months. Is that attending each and every single one of your sessions? And is there homework? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get an idea of where I can make the best of my use of money.
Yeah, so my course is 12 weeks long. Even the course that they have is 12 weeks long. So it's literally what you put into it. Is once a week. And you have homework after every session, and it's up to you to do the homework, but literally the homework is training your eyes. Once you understand the flow of the market, how it runs, what it is, how it works, that is how you make your money. Is it realistic? Absolutely. I'm living proof in front of your face. Forex, I mean, this is so real. Forex changed my life. 120% changed my life, and it changed my family's life. And it's so crazy because people what I'm saying? I know not you, but people are like, can you really make money doing this? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, this is me. I say that because it's okay, like you said, you have these courses out here that are, time after time, it's so expensive and we spend the money because we're trying to learn. And it's okay, is this something I can realistically do as a single mom working a job and make money, Well,
I would just say it just depends on, again, how much time you put into it. Okay. That's really it. It's how much time and consistency you put into it.
Got you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Everybody looks excellent.
Do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Let me see. Fina, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you guys for doing this. And I saw the first one with Jessica. It's just really inspiring, and just wanted to tell you that. I have a question. So I'm really doing several different things. I'm learning stock market still, options, and I want to take your course. So I want to know if I purchase it, is there like a deadline that I have to start taking the class or?
No, it's up to you. But like, I mean, I'm gonna be real with people also. Like, master something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
master whatever it is that you want to do, master it. Because this is the thing about me. I don't care what people got going on with stocks, options, cryptos, all these different asset classes, they're important 100%, but master whichever one you choose to partake in
Okay.
because that is going to make your money. Like, and once you make money consistently and you just know what you know without a shadow of a doubt, you really like, I mean, just master whatever it is that you whatever resonates with you, master that.
Okay. All right. That sounds good to me. But yeah, that's what I wanted to know because I feel like I'm still in a learning process and I don't want to interrupt what I'm doing now, but I know that this is on my radar too, a little bit.
I think that you should do whatever you already paid for and master it. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like even in life, like there's no streamline of focus on one individual thing. That one individual thing that you streamline and focus on is literally what's gonna make you great.
Got it. You're right. Good stuff. Thank you.
No problem.
Fina, thank you, and happy holidays to you. Happy holidays, D. Happy holidays. I don't know if I said that before you came over. Let's go to Jamel. Jamel, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
How you doing?
Good.
Great, man. How you?
How's it
I'm
going?
doing pretty well. So I wanted to ask Jessica a question. In order to prepare for her master class, is there any class that you would recommend for learning the basics for someone who doesn't know anything about Forex, who's just now starting on that path?
Definitely just get the full course because you can't make money from the basics only course, to be honest. It's just to decide if you really want to do this or not. It's just like a little, oh, here it is. But the full course literally teaches you everything that you need to know. And
So it teaches you everything, even including the basics.
including the basics. I start from scratch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you said I can get it through EYL because I'm a EYL University member.
Yeah.
So I can get it through EYL University.
You get it through Just Invest EYL. So you will use their link to get my course.
Got it. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Jamel,
I
appreciate you,
what
bro.
you guys bring to the table. Thank
Appreciate you, bro. Hey, Jamel, cooking committee or eating committee? Which one you on?
I'm about to join the eating committee.
Love it, bro. Have a happy holidays, man.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Right,
You
bro.
too.
We got. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on, Aaron?
How you guys doing? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly. What's going on?
Awesome. So, Jess, I did see the previous episode, and I will tell you, prior to seeing you speak about Forex, I was clueless on it, and then I started researching you as well as Forex in general, and I'm excited about the opportunity to join. I do have a question. I saw on your chart, and I'm trying to, I guess, deepen my understanding about support resistance, and since I've seen you, I noticed that you had an hour chart up there. And so my question is, do you kind of set up minor and major structure based off of hourly, half an hour, or daily charts? I'm just curious as to how you do that.
Yeah, so in the course, everything is run down, everything is cohesively used. So in regards to support and resistance, you have monthly and weekly levels, which when I was referring to, you're at that monthly and weekly level, which means consolidation. You always have to know where you are in the market. So it's called a top-down analysis where you start from the highest time frames. You go from the monthly to the weekly to the daily, mark those off in regards to overall structure, but you're not looking at the monthly and the weekly for your everyday trading, but you still need to understand price as a whole. Then you go from your 4 hour, your 1 hour, and your 30-minute charts. That is literally where you like have your day markups where it's like, okay, your support and resistance for like that structure, whatever structure it is that you're in on. Every chart is different. Every pair is different. Okay. So you will have your support and resistance there, but also trend lines is not just support and resistance, is literally understanding the trend also. And then that minor structure is based off of like your 30-minute, your 15-minute, like that in-depth, like right now money that's about to play out from like now to, well, not the next couple of hours because it's 9 o'clock at night, but you get what I mean.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Aaron. Happy holidays to you and the fam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jess, I got a quick question as far as taxes. Obviously, when you're trading international currency, how does that work for tax purposes when trading Forex?
Anything that you put in your US bank account, you're gonna get taxed on. Whenever you pull it out, like it's same capital gains taxes.
Same thing, capital gains, short term, long term.
Yeah, but this is the thing also, like some people, I mean, this on a Zoom call. This is a Zoom call that's live that everybody can hear. So the safest answer, pay your taxes.
Okay.
You can definitely have cryptocurrency and invest in stable coins and store money. And
whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious, man. Pay the tax, man. We're not going to encourage that. Please do.
Always pay taxes.
Yeah. Taxes paid the same way, though.
Yeah, they just hit my man Chris Tucker with that. You see that?
Yeah.
10 million in back taxes. Please pay that man.
Yes. All right. That's all the questions.
Yeah, I don't think we got any more hands.
All right, Jessica, anything else that you want to say before we wrap this?
Yeah, this is what I want to say. Trading, for everybody that's listening to this, really like do your due diligence in wherever avenue it is that you choose, but also like I was telling, I don't actually remember who I was telling this to. I think it was Spina, but whatever it is that you choose to do, make sure you put your all into it. Like I was just talking recently about, we live in a world of reciprocity. You have to give something of yourself in order to get something. So 100% like tap into yourself. Work ethic, discipline, and consistency and focus are paramount to excelling at this. But again, you have to always streamline your focus and just tap all the way in.
Yeah, you have
lock in.
Just and like I said, it's something that nobody's ever going to be able to master something in an hour, but try to give people some baseline information. But definitely check out the episode and do your research, whether it's on YouTube, Google, before you jump into Forex, like anything else, you definitely should understand at least the basic principles before you actually start to, invest money or trade or try to make a profit. Because if not, then you can lose a lot of money. So, you have to understand technical analysis. Technical analysis is extremely important in stocks, but definitely is extremely important in Forex, as you just saw during her presentation when she talked about, trend lines, Fibonacci, and all of that stuff that you have to familiarize yourself with. So yeah, Jess, once again, thank you.
It's fun also. Like it's fun. It's fun. I love my life. Yeah.
Nah, for sure. So Jess, once again, thank you for joining us. Yeah, if you're interested in Jess's course, we do have the link. It's jessinvesteyl.com. It's $1,000 off for the Black Friday sale. It's like 48 hours for that. And then EYL University, we're doing a 70% off sale for that. And that includes everything, all of the past classes, weekly webinars, group chats, the financial planning calls, MG the mortgage guy, real estate calls, all of that. So that's EYLUniversity.com. So that's also 48 hours. So Jess, thank you. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys.
All right, man. Wait, before we go, man, I just want to say again, rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. Obviously, the verdict came in today. The murderers of Ahmaud Arbery were found guilty. So rest in peace and prayers and blessings to his family and all his loved ones. You are always in our thoughts and prayers, my brother. And again, everybody be safe. Enjoy your loved ones. Hug, kiss, love on them, and be safe, man. Number one thing is be safe. All right. So love is love. We'll see y'all Friday, New York City. We out.
All right. Bye.